So, guys, welcome to episode 21 of the Coffee with Sam podcast. Tonight is a Friday night special, so some drinks are flowing and the conversation keeps coming. This episode is brought to you by idareyouclothing.com with a U, idareyouclothing.com, and today's guest is wakeboarder and extreme sports MCer and alcohol connoisseur, Dan Williams. Tonight's episode has a 18 warning on it, guys, so a 18 years of age warning because there is some adult language and adult content discussed in this podcast. So, welcome to the show, Dan Williams. What's up, Dan, and welcome to the show. Welcome to the Coffee with Sam podcast.
A pleasure.
Thank you for spending your time and coming on with us. I'm excited to talk to you. Good, you?
Not bad. My girlfriend's a makeup artist, so she's got this fuck off light.
Oh, mate, you're making me look. I've got a homemade one. I made it out of a little light box thing.
Oh, mate, great minds.
Cheers.
How do you turn a Mac up? There you go. No?
Top right.
There you go. That's better. Can it speak?
Hello.
That's perfect. How do I know that?
Up to you, mate.
I've had a hair transplant, mate.
Oh, wow.
I was bold. I'll be happy.
Some people can rock it, though.
Yeah, well, mate, I used to have hair down to my shoulders. And then this doctor was like, I got stressed out. I was like, fuck. I don't think I've ever been stressed in my life.
What, so they're trying to say that's the reason why it was going?
They said, well, you can see the areas I've had done. So they were like, yeah, it's all due to stress. I was like, I don't really have much to be stressed about apart from losing my job.
And how many times you got to have that done again, or?
Yeah, that's it. 30-year guarantee.
And more will grow back, or what?
Yeah, so that was completely bald. So they've taken 2,800 hairs out of the back and then whacked them in the front. It was a long day.
Oh wow! What, all in one day?
6 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm good at talking, but speaking to a Turkish lady called Fatima for 6 hours was fucking hard work.
Well, I suppose we haven't even got into your job yet, but with your job, you've got to be good at talking.
Good at talking, have a good head of hair, yeah.
What do they have to do then? How? Let's talk about hair transplant. How do they even do that?
So individually, they take the hairs out the back, one by one.
Yeah. With
tweezers, put them into a saline dish where they harvest for 2 hours, and then they put them in packs of 100, and then flip you over. It has 32 injections in the front of the head to numb it up, and then they make incisions, like tiny cuts, then put the hair in, and then it grows.
Man, the stuff we can do these days is just incredible. Like, that is mad. If you'd have said that like 10 to 15 years ago, someone would have said, no chance.
No, well, I was meant to go to Turkey and get it done. And then the guy here was like, if you put loads of stuff on your Instagram, I'll do it for $2,000. I was like, all right.
Everyone's keep going to Turkey to get their teeth done, don't they?
Yeah, getting veneers. It's not. I must apologise. I am on the gin and tonics. I'm trying to watch the calorie intake. I did just have 2 Moretti's though.
I was about to say, you just definitely put a beer up.
It was one of the big ones.
Yeah, well, if you're going to be truthful, I'm going to be truthful. It's not a Moretti. It's a Coors Light.
You're living a lie.
Going for that light beer.
Yeah, calorie intake. So where are you based? You're in
Birmingham.
Whereabouts in Birmingham?
Smack bang in the middle. Right, we live right by the airport. You might hear the planes at some point.
Only place. Where did we stay in Birmingham? I stayed near the casino out of town for a stag a couple of years ago, and then we went to Brewdog. And what's the main trip in Birmingham called?
Oh, I couldn't tell you that.
I can't remember what it's called. It was we went there for 3 minutes. We were like something street.
Broad Street.
Yeah, we went there and we were like, we're too old for this.
Yeah, Broad Street. The casino might have been the Genting.
It was exactly that. We stayed directly opposite that, which is dangerous.
So I can see that from my house.
Oh, fucking hell, right. Yes, we were on, I can't remember what the place was called, but yeah, it was right on the corner.
Gin and tonic. Whew.
Well, it was 12. It was £12.99 for a bottle of Gordon's. That's pretty good going.
No, that's a no. Is it pink gin though?
It,
Oh,
it's almost as good as drinking Coors Light.
no, but no, more the taste, mate. I'm not going for it's the taste of pink gin is just.
Well, she put champagne and lemonade in it, and I was like, I've got yoga in the morning. I was like, that's not gonna fucking happen.
Well, yeah, mixing. I like your missus. I've never met her yet. She's there to party.
Well, she's upstairs pampering herself, so.
Well, that was well interesting for a beginning anyway. So if you're happy, I would definitely use most of that. I have to give you spiel, but I am videoing you. I am videoing you, and I am keeping the audio. I will try and edit whatever I can, but you're saying yes that I'm allowed to use the video and the audio.
You can use the video,
for whatever I want to use it for.
Exactly.
Perfect. That's something I have to do to be able to go on Apple Podcasts. You have to do like.
Is that true?
A spiel, yeah. So they can't. So just so you can't come back and sue me and all that stuff.
I wouldn't do that. I haven't got time. I haven't got time. I've got a job. So how many viewers are you getting when you podcast? Are people tuning in? And
it all depends. So that's why I wanted to change it. Like my life is going away from cheer. So the reason why I started for cheer. Some of them have had 300-400 views. Some of them have had 14 views. But I just really love talking to people. I've proper enjoyed it. But I want to try and come away from it and start doing like speaking to MMA, speaking to boxing, speaking to just everything. So as soon as we didn't get a chance to meet up, I was like, well, this is the perfect scope to talk about wakeboarding, tying with the clothing brand. But then also it's just an excuse to just chat for 40 minutes.
Have a chat.
Yeah.
Far away. Far away.
Yeah. So your sport, did you ever compete massively at wakeboarding, like, or was it a hobby, or?
When I started, it wasn't what it is today. It was a handful of people that were names in the sport. But you know, I was young. I was 8, and you idolising these blokes with the long hair and the, looking gnarly, all that shit. But I hadn't come from that. You know, I was a little grommet, they used to call me, just wiping the shit off the boat covers just to get to ride. Like I couldn't afford to do it. It was 28 quid for 15 minutes, so it's not cheap. We spent half that in the water. I competed until about 16, but then as soon as you get over 16, you're competing against the pro men's. I was like, there's no fun in this anymore. I don't ride half as much as I used to. Like I've got into presenting and stuff.
Yes, that's the problem with a lot of sports. You speak to a lot of, like, even Olympians, they haven't enjoyed it once they get there.
Yeah, that's it.
Fun goes from it, and it's just so intense.
It's the competitive level. It's like even in rugby, I played a decent level of rugby, but as soon as you start getting too good, half of rugby is going out and getting on the piss. But if you're playing at a good enough level, it's like, oh, you can't do that. You've got to be conditioning. It's like, I don't really want to be doing that. I want to play and get leathered.
Yeah. I was saying with cheer, like 10 years in, I was literally, I retired last year and I was so happy. I was like, I'm done. I am done with that having drink bans got like 4 weeks before the World Championships and having to go to bed early and then be in the gym when we're not cheering. And I'm done with it. Like, I'm happy to just, it's some people say, oh, you're very unhealthy now, but it's not. I was the other way before. I was so obsessed with.
Yeah, it's almost an addiction, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the problem when you get to a high level. That's what ends up happening.
Yeah.
So do you still ride now, like for fun though? You still got the fun?
Yeah, still ride. So there's two main elements of wakeboarding. There's boat, which is old school, and then there's cable. So they're called the cable rats, and we call the boat boys because boats are a lot more expensive. So everyone thinks we're like wanky water skiers and stuff like that. But then the cable is a lot more sort of park based, so it's a lot more like snowboarding at park. You've got your obstacles and stuff, where boats more doing tricks off the wake, etc. Did a lot of coaching when I was in Australia. It's a cracking sport, but it's struggling to, you've got kids now coming up who are so gymnastically talented. There's two blokes called Ryan and Liam Peacock. They're from a trampoline background. Mate, you put them in any extreme sport and they just know what to do. And it's just because their aerial awareness, they're just so incredibly aware of where their body needs to be on a spin. Like they're 16, 17, they've got their own clothing line and stuff like that. It's like,
That's same with parkour. So I was in the free run when it first came out, when it was first a thing, and it makes me feel really old. Like that I was around when it first came to the UK and it was big.
yeah.
I think I would not want to be a little kid trying to get into a sport like that, because you've got some people just standard is a double back now, or a full twisting back out. Like same with the wakeboarding. They're probably it's not like, oh, well done, you did a single. It's, did you do a double or did you do a double with a twist?
You grab it. But parkour, mate, like I remember growing up and be like, oh, what are you guys doing? Oh, we're going to do parkour. What we're really doing is just jumping on things. Like there's like the gymnastic element behind that as well, which I'm sure you are good at due to cheer. But taking that to the street, and you must have thought, God, I'm the bollocks.
Yeah, just jump from a curb to a curb, and you're like, I got
just grabbing your foot.
Boom. And now you got dudes just throwing round off double backs on concrete, and you're like, no, not.
How did you get into cheer then? Obviously, that's for a bloke, it's quite a.
So I went from trampolining background, competed nationally, trampolining and double mini tramp. I went from that, and we're literally just, there was a girl from cheer who was like, oh, we want to do a co-ed team, which is boy and girl. Let's go. My best mate went, and I was like, that's so gay, man. I was like, I ain't doing that. And he come back and told me what he was doing, and I was like, nah, no chance. And then I was like, actually, I want to give this a go. And I actually had an ex-girlfriend who I was like, I want to make her feel jealous that I'm in a gym full of girls. so I went to this gym like just to make her jealous, and then just literally fell in love with it. And that was 12 years ago. Found my fiance. As soon as I walked in the gym, I was like, I'm going to get with her. And then, just literally had a go at the sport, and I say, that's it.
Are you still as, obviously getting to the level that you've got to, there must have been a little bit more of a skill there. You must have a slight gift for that kind of thing. Obviously, to compete at the World Championship, you can't have just learned to do it. You must have had that initial ability to go out there.
So I obviously had the flipping ability of the trampolining, but that never came to me naturally. There was also a joke between me and my best mate. He naturally could just do flips. I had to really think about what I was doing all the time. Like he could joke around just throwing doubles, triples. He could throw a quad if he fancied, just for the fun of it.
On a trampoline?
On a trampoline, like a quad front or quad back, or with twists, and he'd land it wrong and be like, ha ha ha. I'm going to do a double, and I'd be like, okay, and I have to really think about it. So then moving that to floor was real hard for me. But the best thing with cheer is, if you're good at the stunting aspect, so you're strong, you get people above your head, that stuff, you don't have to be good at the flipping.
Yeah, okay.
So it's very good.
The sectors, like you've got your floor people, your strength people, your girls that love to be thrown up in the air.
Yes, you can have all arounders, but you can also have people who are stronger at other disciplines. So sometimes you have a tumbler who just tumbles. They don't do any stunting in the routine whatsoever. They'll just flip around for the whole 2.5 minutes.
And is that what it's done? 2.5 minutes, just that one song?
Yeah, 2.5 minutes. Well, it's a mix of tracks.
What's your go-to cheer song?
Do you have music made? So at World Championships, you can't use any tracks. You have to have music made by a producer.
Oh, right.
And they produce the music, and they have lyrics that go with your music and lyrics that go with your team. And
where's the Worlds?
Florida, every year.
And is there funding behind? No, same with wakeboarding, man. You got to pay for yourself.
You end up with like trainers or bags from like the big American companies, but I'm like, bro, I'm not poor. I can have trainers. I need paying for my trip. That's going to cost me $2,500.
Yeah. Again, obviously, cheer in the UK isn't as big as America. So, like, how does America compare? Being the American football, and that they're thoroughbreds in that. Would you agree, or is it different?
Yeah, we still are far behind, but we Team England actually won Worlds. Team England have won in nearly, I think they've got one category they haven't won Worlds in now. So we're making a stamp for ourselves, but I lived out there and competed on an American team, and it's complete, just the level is like you expect.
Yeah.
A lot more over here it would be classed as abuse.
Yeah.
um,
They're just drill. It's like Russian kids and pole vault, just
yeah,
drill into it.
it was. We were training from we'd get like a 3-hour drive to the gym, and then we would train from like 6. And then if they weren't happy, you wouldn't leave until they were happy. So 12, 12:30, then you got another 3-hour drive home.
And these guys would obviously you can't really make a career in cheer here, but over there you'd be part of the Miami Dolphins cheer squad, and that'd be
No, so yeah, we don't actually cheer for teams. So
okay.
cheer that you cheer for a team is your pom pom, go Dolphins. Cheer I did is all-star cheer, so there's no cheer. You don't do a cheer, there's no chant. It's literally 2.5 minutes of full-out acrobatics.
Fucking hell.
Just flipping, throwing, catching, holding people in the air, a bit more flipping, and about 2 8 counts of dance. That's about it.
And how many in the team?
24 at Worlds, but in England, like nationals and stuff, you can have up to 32 on a floor.
And has it got a following in the UK?
Yeah, it's getting a lot bigger, a lot
Is
bigger.
it?
When I first started, you'd have 2 to 3 boys on a team, and this is not me. Like people know me, and that's not me being stereotypical. Half of those would be very feminine boys.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Now, when I was on the last team I was on, you'd have half the team, so 12 boys, and a couple of feminine type ones. Like it started to become like I'm strong to do this. Like we need the strong boys. So it's grown. Like 11 years I've been in it, it's just gone.
So when you first started, was it quite? I did cheer as a straight male. Would you say that was something that wasn't so much of a thing then? But is now?
Oh yeah, so much all the time. I obviously fit in very well because I can act very feminine if I want to, and we all can. Hey, especially when I was in America, that was different because especially I was in California, so they are very out there.
The Americans in general.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah, definitely. But in the UK, it's
Getting reloaded in my drink.
Oh, nice. Champagne as well.
Yeah, what are you putting in there, Dan? What are you putting in there?
Gin, tonic, and raspberry.
Oh, you just not put any bubbles in it?
So the people listening, if you're not watching this and you're listening, then Dan's getting his drink refueled by his missus.
Oh, it's Prosecco. God, yeah. Okay.
Champagne, you trying to pretend to be a snob?
Prosecco.
So with wakeboarding, is there much that goes on outside of the actual just getting on the water? Because obviously you speak to like skateboarders, snowboarders, all that extreme sports, and it's more like you just do the sport. You get strong doing the sport.
What, like the social aspect, the camaraderie between people? Or...
Well, no, is there, do you have to train outside off the water? Is there a lot of strength training, that type of thing?
To be fair, it's quite odd. Like, if you were to ride, you'd wake up the next day, and I'm sure if I was to do cheer, and you'd be like, I didn't realise I had muscles here.
Yeah.
Because you're getting pulled one direction all the time. So your whole body's twisted, your whole body's getting pulled realistically by a 28-year-old, by a 28-year-old.
What wakeboarding have you been doing, Dan?
But yeah, it's hard. It's physically draining, like, and you don't realise the cardiovascular element of it as well, like edging out and jumping. And if you fall in, you've got a long swim to get to the shore if you're riding cable. So yeah, there's a lot of trampoline training as well. Like, if you're a good wakeboarder, you know how to throw a flip on trampoline. Thank you. Look at that service.
Cheers.
Yes. But yeah, to take it seriously. So there's a handful of people that everyone knows in the wakeboard world, and they're your pro men. But then again, there's a 9-year-old bloke, and he's already doing stuff that some of the pro men are doing, but not, he's not grabbing it, or it's not got the style. But you just look at this kid like, your kahunas are.
Yeah, the kids coming through these days, it's like watching. So I had somebody send me a video who wants to be part of the clothing brand, and he's like
Okay.
15, he's banging a double back on scooter. I remember watching someone do that about Bradley.
Okay, there's a little lad called Charlie Dyson who's on Britain's Got Talent. He's a Brummie actually. I met him at a. Do you remember Beyblades? The toy.
Yeah.
I was presenting for them doing the UK tour for Hasbro, and I was there doing that, and he was like one of our ambassadors. An ambassador, he's 8 years old. Ambassador for a toy.
Yeah, I remember when I was probably 15 years ago, and at a skate park, and a kid did a double back into a foam pit, and it was the biggest thing. The whole skate park just went like mad. And now this kid's just 15, and he's sending me a video, and he can ride dirt as well on the hardtail, and I'm like, you normally stick to one discipline, not being able to just smash them both.
It's just, mate, kids are just like, mate. I was on the South Bank today. And do you know this big skate park under there?
I saw your video on Instagram, but no, I haven't seen it. No, I bet some people in London know.
No, I'm going there thinking, you've got all these little kids, little shredders that are there with like, shoelaces as belts, big like Thrasher t-shirts. I'm like, you could be out causing trouble and being a nightmare, but you're choosing to do this. And that's why I believe in the kids coming up, that they are taken to a sport. They are, all right, they're out, but they're not, smashing cars up. They've found something they're doing and they're enjoying it. I think that's class to see little kids just all.
Yeah, we went into Birmingham to do a photo shoot for I Dare You, and there was a group of like 20 lads, and we were like, what's going on over here? And it was on quite a busy street, and they just found this concrete bench, and they were literally having a trick off. And it was the sickest thing to sit and watch, because there was BMXers, skateboarders, and they were all just on this one piece of apparatus in the street, just going for it. And do you know, you see that in movies, you don't expect to see it like in the centre of Birmingham. And I was like, I'm going to stand here and watch this, even though I've got stuff to do. I want to stand and watch this for a bit. Yeah,
it's just good, mate, I think trials biking is something I think is class. My mates just started doing it again. He's really good mates with Danny McCaskill, who's one of the Red Bull riders. And mate, they're like jumping 9 foot with a bike, going upwards.
I watched a video today of Danny McCaskill, and they took it off TikTok, so they've managed to get it on Instagram. And he's riding, and he slips off a wall and face plants the grass. So he gets it all wrong. But they were like, TikTok are not getting away with this, so they've posted it wherever they can post it. But I've never seen him go that wrong. Like, he was literally just on a wall, not even thinking about it, and just goes and smashes his face on the grass.
But it's just, the bollocks that you must have to go. Like, if I manual off a curve on a skateboard, I think I'm Tony Hawk.
Does riding, or do you ride wakeboarding? Do you ride it?
Right.
You smirked then, like you were gonna like proper put me down, like.
No. Well, no, I was trying to work out like, how would you say, do you want to go for a wakeboard, or so normally, do you want to go jump on the water? Is normally.
So like, does that easily transfer to skateboarding, or is it completely different?
We always say, if someone comes, if I was coaching, they'd be like, have you snowboarded? Less is more in wakeboarding. If you do nothing and just hold the handle, your body will do it. But the first thing that people tend to do is when it pulls, is pull in. And you pull in, you fall back. So you just got to sort of let your body get pulled up and then just slowly move up. But it's a stunning sport. Like some of the videos.
With your feet though, like with your feet, is it like skateboarding?
Yeah, it's all front foot.
Yeah, I'd be no good.
But then again,
I'll be no good at all, because I'm a skier. I'm a rollerblader skier. Just get me on a snowboard, mate. I am on my ass.
So we call them dicks on sticks, water skiers.
I wouldn't say water skier. I don't really like. I'm not a fan of the water, to be honest.
We're gays and trays.
I tried wakeboarding on a cable.
Yeah. Okay. Whereabouts?
In like Cannock Chase.
In Florida.
No. So right by me, there's called Cannock Chase, and it's like they've got a big lake.
Oh, Chase Watersports.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, I know that.
That's I wouldn't say right by me. It's 30-minute drive at the speed limit.
What was your car? I saw you the other day. You're into your. What have you got?
Oh, the Volkswagen Golf.
What year?
It's old, mate. It's like 15 years old. It's a
Um,
53 plate, I think.
I had an 89 Mark 1 Golf Cabriolet.
So no, it's not. So literally, what I've done is, so when I went to America, I had a. This is me. I'm going to sound like blowing my own horn. I had an Audi S Line A4 saloon thing,
Nice.
all the bells and whistles, and I sold it to move to America. And when I came back from America, I had no money. So literally was like I had to work and bought the first car I could get so that I could do more work. So a friend of the family sold me this Golf Plus. So it's the bigger version with the bigger roof.
Yeah.
And then I watched the seats fold down and I was like, that looks flat. Like that's like a bed. So then during lockdown, I literally built a fold out bed. So when the seats go forward, me and the missus can lie down in it.
Nice.
So I've made a mattress. I've made a kitchen that sits on the parcel shelf. So then we just go traveling in it now.
It's nice. My new company car's a Kia Estate, and I can't wait just to whack the seats down. That was the gayest thing I've ever done.
That was
Whack them down.
down and just hit the water.
And then just rock up anywhere, just keep your back open.
Gay on a tray or whatever it's called.
Right, yeah, on a stick. Mate, not on that kind of stick. But what I was going to ask you, yeah, so clothing-wise, where did it come from? What's the plan? Next step?
So it came from when I was a big gym head. So
I saw you used to
yeah. I used to look after myself and
be in good tether.
like twice a week would train. Twice a week. Just about now. Twice a day I would train. I competed like Miami Pro. Tried to get on stage and do a bit of and photo shoots and all that stuff. It helped build my business. So I was a PT for a bit.
Yeah,
And that literally came from we were jokingly in the gym and someone was like, so my bench is really bad, and there was 3 of us that trained, and we all knew my bench was bad. And one day I went into the gym, was like, I'm gonna go for 90 kg. That ain't much, but for me, with my little gay chest, well, I'm sorry, not gay chest, my little poor chest, they were like, "What? You're gonna do what?" I was like, "I'm going for the 90." And they were like, I got under the bar, and my mate was just like, "Go on, I dare you. I dare you to pick that up." And it just made me like,
I'm gonna do it.
Like a switch. And then we just joked around, and then it would become a joke, and then in the gym, and then it was a joke between, I would spread it out towards cheerleading. And I was like, this could have a following behind it, because this could be anything, literally business. That's where the slogan comes from.
Doing something you may not have just been able to do, and you just going, I dare myself to do it, I dare you to do it.
Sport, business, life. And that's how I live my life. Like, just go for it. Like when I moved to America, it was like, it might not work, but just go for it because I want to try it.
So it's like Nike, just do it, but I dare you, which means you have to do it.
Yeah. I hadn't even thought about it, the same slogan as Nike.
If someone says, I dare you.
It was just like to build a following of people with like the dare to attitude of like, I dare you, I dare myself, let's just go for it. It doesn't be like, I dare you to jump off this and stupid things. Like, I get so many random things, go do this, go do that. But like, I dare you to take that leap that could change your life.
Yeah, it's not jackass. It's not, I dare you to do this. It's, you know, the biggest stuff in life. Go and give it a shot. Take the next step. Take a punt. A punt in the dark.
The actual logo, it came up in my head how I wanted it to happen. And I originally I hadn't got a clue to do with computers. And the only way I could send it to my friend was I drew it on Snapchat. And I sent him the logo idea. And he was like, okay. I'll draw that up for you. He drew it up. And I was like, I don't like it. We changed it. I think my friend was like, the triangle looks like the triangle from Zelda. He's a big gamer. He was like, it looks like, and I was like, well, I can't have that. So that changed, and it just changed, and we got to where we were now. And I spent a lot of money on it originally, and then went to America, so I had nothing left to spend on it.
What year did it look? Is it a limited company? Like, it's certified? You can do what you want with the company?
No, not yet. Okay. The main logo is copyrighted, but as a company, then no. And basically, I went to America and kind of left it. I just left it on its own. And then when I came back, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it one more shot. And I'm going to go for it. And if by like this time next year, like 6 months ago, it's not paying for itself, then forget about it. And I think that, especially during COVID, that burning desire to have something that I can still work on, even if I'm stuck at home, can't go out and work. It was great to have that little quick click. And my problem is I need to be creative, and I can't. I said to Alex, my missus, I was like, I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to forget it and then forget it. And then about 3 days later, I'm like, let's raise some money for the BLM campaign. And I designed this T-shirt, and then was like, I've seen this great cause that's putting it into children's nurseries that are going to fund to help teach kids from a grassroots age. And I was like, well, I could help with that. Boom, I'm gone again. And the company's launched again. And I'm like, for God's sake, just stop doing it.
So is the idea to get into shops? Is it to be a well-known brand within a certain clique or sport, or is it to, like, where's the progression?
I'm bored of gym brands.
Okay, there's a lot of.
If it can be in a gym brand, I'm happy with that. If people in the gym wear it, I'm cool with that. But I've always been into skateboarding, motocross, BMXing, extreme sports, and the same sort of thing, having that dare to attitude of pursuing a career in it or just pursuing a hobby in it. So I'd like to get it into the extreme sports, but also down like an adventure route. So people who like to go walking, climbing mountains, like you, I saw you rock Snowdon the other week. So I'd like to bring out like an adventure range. So like the type of walking shorts or walking trousers and waterproof jacket. And I wanted to go just down that route of coming away from the gym.
Down route of different.
Yeah.
There's your new slogan.
Yeah.
I dare you to take the route of different.
Oh, wow. I'm not allowed to now. I'm not allowed to now because actually, yeah, you said you said yes to whatever goes on here is mine. It's mine. Done.
I'm gonna sign something. Any slogan said during this, I need 50%.
Need to keep onto it. So
the sort of the marketing side of what you're doing now is very motocross led. The next, where are you going to get the base from? Is it just to hammer? I mean, social media is a free marketing platform for anyone these days. But I suppose is it targeting specific influencers for you to? They're going to share it. You know, you've got to send free stuff to them or pay them to say, oh, this is the brand I'm working with.
So yeah, I would. Everyone's mentioned that, and I'd like to get into stuff like that, but I've been subject to that in the past and lost out.
Oh, really?
Passing a lot of things out and getting nothing back.
Yeah, of course.
And once you burn a bridge with me, I'm a bit. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna do this on my own, type of thing. Like, you've been incredible. I'm saying I can't wait to get you on board, and like you just want to help.
Yeah,
That's what I'm like. If someone says to me, Sam, can you come and do this? Yeah, cool. Sam, can you drive to the other side of the country to help me with this? Yeah, cool, I'll help, as long as that helps you. And when I see people, because people have done stuff to me in the past, when people like you come along, it's like, oh, that's amazing. I keep getting told to go to influencers and do this and do that, and maybe in the future that's where it's at. But at the moment, as long as I can pay for the website every year, that's my plan. I have no massive plans, but as long as I can pay for the website every year with sales, then I'm cool, and I'll keep drumming it every day. My main thing is, once this COVID-19 does one, I want to get into events. So I want to have a gazebo, shop stand, go and enjoy some events, because I would enjoy that. Motocross, BMX, wakeboarding.
Yeah, out the front, catch people. Hey guys, do you want to come talk about your business, what you're passionate about?
And then stuff like that as well. I could then to then give T-shirts for the event, because the event have let me come to them, or even if I had to pay, I'd rather go that way and give it someone who's on a young lad who's just won something. He gets a T-shirt because he's won it, blah blah blah, and try and go that way through it than just passing someone because they've got thousands of followers.
There's no real passion for it. The only reason they're doing it is, well, every influencer on Instagram. So obviously in the booze world, it's all about that. Like all the Essex lot. Oh, we're doing this. This is Herbalife, and then people fall for it. There's no passion behind that. It's because there's a check behind it.
Don't get me started about Herbalife.
Oh.
That is a podcast on its own.
That's our next one.
Yeah, we'll go in about Essex people and Herbalife.
Oh, there's a guy I live with, and he lives in my block, and he saw me get a tennis racket out back in Cardiff Day. He was like, do you play tennis? And I was like, I really sarcastically said, no, I just keep a tennis racket in my boots for laugh. And he was like, well, there's no need to be rude, is there? I was like, well, clearly I'm joking. I was like, clearly I play tennis. And then all he's done is basically try and groom me to be Herbalife. He's like, oh, you've lost your job. You're too young to realise there's no security in jobs. I can do this, I can do that. I said, okay, but I will never sell Herbalife. I said to him, mate, you're pissing up the wrong tree. I was like, never in a million years am I going to try and sell 5 fruits in one shot when I should be telling people to go and have 5 fruits and go to do exercise.
Amen, brother. Cheers to that. Cheers to that, brother.
I've got these ab belts, or go and tell someone to do 50 push-ups.
Yeah, you could be like Cristiano Ronaldo and sell your life to it.
Yeah,
I love that bloke. That's the one thing I hate that he's done. Sold his soul to that ab belt.
Herbalife and ab.
Oh yeah, and Herbalife. Oh my god. I forgot about that. Cristiano Ronaldo's just died inside me. Oh my god, he's just died. I'm done.
He just can't up my arse, and I'm never going to see him again.
Yeah, I'm done now. I'm not going to watch him. If he comes on, I'm going to turn him off. Turn him off on the TV.
Yeah, but yeah, he's Herbalife. His ab belt. It's just like he's one of the best paid. Well, he's a billionaire. He's an athlete, and he's got the cheek to fool himself. But everyone's got their price.
Yeah, that's the thing is, even if you are a multimillionaire, you don't know they're multi-million companies. You don't know what they've offered him. And an extra mil on top of your wage, why not?
Right. Yeah. To put an Instagram post up going.
Yeah, it works. It works. Or turn up to a video shoot for a bit and get paid for me for the video shoot as well.
Yeah.
So,
go on.
You said about the booze industry. How did you go from wakeboarding, like a sport or a very athletic sport, into wanting to be in the booze industry? And did that come before sports emceeing?
Nah, so my cousin was the reason I got into wakeboarding originally. So I used to live in Frimley. These are all just going to be names to you. This is so southern. And he was like, oh, yeah, he cut from a very different cloth to me. He was like, oh, I've just been wakeboarding in Mitchett. I was like, it's Mitchett. And then I went down there, and I used to get dropped down there at 6:30 in the morning and spend all day there, just sat in the boat, learning about sport, doing any little jobs that I could. You got little kids come piss in the wetsuits, you have to clean the wetsuits. It was the only way I could ride. My dad couldn't afford to. You've got these kids coming down there doing 10 sets a week at 28 quid a pop. And I was lucky to maybe ride once or twice a week. So I worked loads, and then...
It's a good story, though. It's a good story of like...
Yeah, like, mate, I fell in love with the sport, and I was like, I'm not just going to sit around and not do it. So I was just like, look, I'll do whatever you want. I was just doing the worst jobs, picking fucking dead swans out of reeds that wrap their necks in a load of fishing wire. But it's the only way I could ride.
Oh, so, if only that had like a big and then I became world champion at the end of it, your story would be like movie worthy.
Yes, it would be very sort of Rocket Man and or Eddie the Eagle.
Yeah. Yeah, more Eddie the Eagle.
Yeah. Slightly special bloke, reasonably good at sport.
Kind of makes it.
And Hugh Jackman.
Kind of makes it.
Yeah. And then as I was growing up, my cousin was sort of quite a big name on the scene. He'd been wakeboarding for a while. And then my now co-stars, Matt Crowhurst, who you mentioned his name in extreme sports, everyone knows who he is. So then I started to get into it. I'd started to do more local competitions, just like 20, 30 people. And then Wakeboard UK approached me when I was 17. We're like, do you want to come and present at the UK Wakeboard Nationals? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I was like, look, I don't need money at this stage. I just want to get the experience. I want to get my, the wakeboard community is very small. And then sort of started building from there. And then, yeah, my last gig was in front of 4,500 people at Wembley Stadium at the motocross event. And I'm not done motocross. I can ride, but I don't know what the tricks are. But I was just there to G up the crowd. Mate, walking out in front of 4,500 people with the pyrotechnics and the lights and everything, I was like, this is class. And what I charged for a day rate from charging nothing 10 years ago to what I was doing then. But I was just class, running up on this huge ramp. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
Yeah, what a buzz, man! What a buzz! But did you, as a kid, was you like that? Like, was you loud? Was you? Because that's got to take
it's
Special type of person to be able to do that. Like,
yeah. I've always been into drama. My brother's a professional actor. He's in Only Fools and Horses, the musical,
oh, nice.
in the West End. But I've always been like you. Like, if you want to talk, let's just sit down and talk. It doesn't matter what it is. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know the stories that they're going to tell you that can influence you. And I've always had that, and a lot of it. But very quickly, my confidence can be seen as arrogance, and it's that fine line of I do this because I fucking love it, not because I know I'm good at it. That's how arrogant. But I absolutely love it. Like I've done Blue Peter, done the X Factor, auditioned for Big Brother, and it's not a chase for fame. It's I think I'd be good in people's eyes.
Well, you're pretty good in front of the camera. You're in front of, like, you talk well. You've got to talk well. You're an MC, for God's sake. But that's what I mean. It's like, I'm confident, but as soon as you put me in front of someone, or I couldn't rock out and speak at Wembley, like, it's got to take a special kind of person to be able to do that. Like,
yeah, but it's like knowing not to rush your work. Like, mate, I was absolutely bricking it. The most people have ever done anything in front of me is like 300. And then not only that, I've got people doing flips on motorbikes over me, and they land, then you scream, and then next up, then you say their names as they're literally going over your head. And I was like, and then on the Monday, I've got to wake up and go and sell champagne again. It's like,
main thing is, before we dip into the alcohol side, do you change your voice to be an MC?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. From Mr. Williams, who sells champagne on a Monday, Tuesday, to ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Let's hear you scream.
That's it. The moment I knew I made it is when I had my own changing room with my name on. Sorry, dressing room.
Oh.
And I had a rider. I had 2 bottles of Jack Daniels and those boogers. Like, this is class. But then it's not class because you just sat on your own, drinking on your own, looking at mirror with loads of torches around it.
Do you not take a team with you, a squad?
Well, my Matty was in the room next door, and then we had all the monster girls there as well, which was terrible.
Yes, that's not good. To have loads of girls around you.
Alcohol.
So yeah, how did you get into the alcohol industry?
So I went to university to be a PE teacher, and that was my dream. And then I just didn't like uni. So I was a special needs teacher for 2.5 years at a school with kids with autism, learning difficulties, behaviour difficulties, which I grew up having with ADHD. And mate, I was 21. I got the kids. They wouldn't fucking swear at me. They wouldn't fucking be rude to me, because I'd just be like, cool, you've lost your chance with me. You've lost it. You want me to work with you and be your friend? Treat me like your friend. And then, yeah, I thought this is great, but the teacher salary wasn't something that I could maintain. Started working for Red Bull, literally selling cans to corner shops at £1.20. That was it. Then I went to Australia for 3 years, came back, started working for Copperberg Cider, which was great. And then, yeah, got headhunted for Moet, and career sort of went from there to selling.
Is that the same sort of thing as presenting, or is it more sales?
It was sales, but a lot of my job was going to host big sales events or doing not stand-up comedy, should do. But going up and talking about wines and talking people through tasting notes at dinners. But again, it's that element of confidence that you have to be able to have to go into a room full of people you don't know and make them believe what you're saying. Because that's what MCing is. Oh, he's done that trick. If you didn't know, you have to believe me because you think that I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, just fake it until you make it.
Fake it until you make it. Right.
So how was the alcohol industry hit due to COVID? Because obviously a lot of things were hit, but all I did was for the first 3 months is we worked in the garden and we drank every day.
Every day. The whole industry is different. I was in London today, and you walk around and you see places just shut. Chiquitos, Las Iguanas, Carluccio's, that have all had to shut the majority of their sites down. But where people weren't going out for 5 months because they couldn't, people were drinking at home, and they were drinking a better product because they didn't have to go out and spend the money. So champagne maintained. I've never drunk more during lockdown because you don't have to pay to go out in the pubs. You can drink at home, buy a case of Peroni for 12 quid instead of going to a pub.
Yeah, that was something fascinating that you said when we were talking before, is that people have, how did you word it? People are
upselling themselves. People are drinking better. People are paying more and drinking less. Because on Instagram, when was the last time you went to Wetherspoons and had 10 pints? You don't. You go to a nice cocktail bar, take a photo of it, put it on Instagram because you want your mates to perceive, oh, he's doing all right, he's drinking there. And that's unfortunately the drinks industry. People are drinking nicer cocktails.
Bro, that's life. That's life.
That's life, isn't it?
It's life. Oh, I've got this big flash car that I pay monthly for because...
Yeah, I'm skint and I wipe my ass with sandpaper, but here's my fucking M4.
Yeah, here's my car, yeah. Or my house. My house is a 1-bedroomed apartment, but I've got a really nice car. It's like when I watch, car on a watch.
Exactly. Yeah, I've just started doing Forex, so. But unfortunately, it's.
So do you think, due to COVID, has it gone the other way?
Beer sales.
Because you can't upsell yourself when you're drinking from home as such.
So if you're in a bar or club, you're going to be spending 100 quid on a bottle of champagne. But if you buy it from Tesco, you can buy it for 25 quid. So people have been buying stuff and making. Mate, my job during lockdown when I was working for Moet was to go online and tell people how to make cocktails with our brands, with champagnes, with Belvedere, with whiskies. Growing up now, I'm almost 30. I wouldn't drink a Jack Daniels. I've got a more developed palate. You drink a nicer whiskey.
Yeah.
And it's just the one thing I'm so passionate about is educating people about alcohol. People go vodka, they think, ugh. It's so broad. You've got Belvedere, Absolute, Grey Goose, Smirnoff, Glens that you probably used to drink and have it in a hip flask when you were 12 years old.
So does... Oh, there we go, getting topped up again. Matt, I need a missus like yours.
Yes, I did like it.
Mine just disappears on a night out for cocktails.
Yeah, we had London. We went for a little cycle around London, but the weather just went. We were like, let's just get home.
Oh, it's been the same here. The weather been the same here. 1 minute it's 19 degrees, 20 degrees. The next minute, hammering it down.
Yeah. Funny you say that. I've got a good joke earlier. You like this? Where is it? There you go. A young lad goes to Ibiza on holiday. He texts his mate saying, "Weather here is just like your mother, 38 and fucking hot." His mate texts back, "Weather here is just like your sister, 18 and soaking wet." Brunch. Daniel me.
So the podcast definitely just went from I'm teeing a little bit, definitely to adults.
Yeah. I dare you to not give that to the under 16-year-olds.
This was meant to be a tester, and it's gone literally straight up to adult up here.
Plus 18s only.
So you were saying about the alcohol with people aren't, they just I hate vodka and they won't test into it. Can you say you like to educate people? Let's have a quick lesson if you can on like what if I'm a whiskey drinker, what would you educate me on to my palate and to trying and to...
Champagne was my main thing. Obviously whiskey's got its sides, but whiskey, even to the point where if I drank whiskey, I would know if it's been oaked or unoaked. So if it's come from cast steel or cast iron, so Jack Daniels is always put in a bourbon cask. So that comes from an oak tree. It's burnt on the inside for 7 hours, really slowly, and then that's where it gets its smokiness from. Ardbeg, which is another whiskey, which is very peaty, which means overly smoky, is put in a 21-hour burnt barrel. So it's the amount of stuff that happens and the sort of rye that they use or the grain.
Jump on that. They actually burn the barrel with the whiskey.
They burn the inside of the barrel. They burn the inside of the barrel.
And then drop the whiskey in.
How
do they burn it? Fire inside or just...
Fire inside, yeah. And it's just like a furnace. Go, and then when they put it in, that's what expands the wood into the rings. And then to make the gentleman jacks, they then use burnt Jack Daniels casks to then use the fire to put in the new casks for gentleman's jacks. So it's 3 times used wood and char. That's what's lucky.
And that's why it's more expensive.
Yeah, that's why it looks nice.
How do they? So I'm a bourbon drinker.
Mm-hmm.
I like Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, nice monkey shoulder.
Yeah, from America, and then I loved it when I was like, I'm not gonna be able to get it when I get home. I didn't really drink whiskey. I literally some American dude was like, "This is how we drink it." He smashed the ice to the top of the glass, and he just filled it. And it's like we just sip that all night. And I was like,
"What? Just straight up whiskey?"
Yeah, and I was like, "Okay, that's how we're doing it. I'm gonna learn while I'm out here. Why not give it a go?" And I actually liked it, and I don't mix it now. I can't mix it with anything. It ruins it.
That's what I hate. Like one thing for the alcohol industry that I despise is, well, out of London, if you were to go to Birmingham now and you were to go to Stories, for instance, you're going to spend 150 quid in a bottle of Belvedere, and they're going to mix it with Coke out of a tap. That annoys me. If I'm spending 100, I want the best kind of mixer, because otherwise you may as well just be drinking anything.
So what would you say is the best mixer to mix with whiskey if I was going to mix it?
If you had to mix it.
If I had to, I won't do, because I get told off by some people for putting ice in it. So
yeah, but again, if you're having an old fashioned, twist of lemon, it's bit of sugar syrup at the bottom. An old fashioned, perfect.
Yeah. When I go to Birmingham, an old fashioned is the way I go. If I have, is that a cocktail? Is that classed a cocktail?
It's a spirit drink. That's what I'd class it as. But there's a very, very good Coca-Cola brand called Fentimans, and that's you got Coke, Pepsi, and then that's up there. People
What's
don't
it
know
called?
Fentimans. Or Hartridge's drinks. Like it's Coke, but just on another level. Not that kind of Coke, but like a good Coke.
I think if you bang that with whiskey, whatever, it's going to taste good.
I don't keep that. No. The industry it's coming back. Obviously, all the social distancing parties are sort of starting again, which is good. Obviously, I've just taken the leap to move and go back into sort of the bar world. The luxury market's good, but it's dead. Hotels are struggling to open because the social areas aren't open. People aren't drinking out. People are going out, eat out. What's it called? Eat out, save out on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Tuesdays. But then again, people are trying to spend as minimum as they can. So people aren't going, the drinks are the same price. And realistically, that's what puts the bill up at the end of the meal, isn't it? You go, cool, the food's £8.70 because I've had 2, but I've had 5 pints, so it's 38 quid.
Yeah, my missus hates it because I always drink loads.
But you don't realise, like, £6.40 for a pint today in London. I was like,
£6.40?
40, and it wasn't even a pint. It was on the fucking. It was a bottle. It was a bottle of Peroni at Piccolino's in.
Oh my god! That's how can they even justify that?
That was £1.50 in Sainsbury's, and that's a double-sized bottle. So think how much they're paying and the amount of profit they're getting from that. But they have to do it because they haven't been making any money for the last 6 months.
That's the way the world's going. It's like house prices. We're in a recession. We've just had COVID, and they're still going up. And it's like, what? When are they going to come down? When are they going to drop?
Endless.
I know you live towards London, so I'm not going to talk house prices because that'll annoy you because ours are so much lower in the West Midlands. But
huge. Like the flat I was looking at buying was a 2-bed small house, £290, and it was pokey.
Yeah, we're just about to buy a 3-bed for £270 with a garage, with a drive, brand new.
Brand new.
Yeah, house.
It's mad. Where would you class as up north? Like I say anywhere north of Milton Keynes.
Is north?
I'd say that's north. my parents live in Milton Keynes, and I'd be like, anywhere up there you start to get an accent.
No, so like north to me is if we were going like right down the country, up the country, down the country.
Well, north's up.
Yeah, up the country. I get it wrong. My missus, I'll say, and she'll say, "You mean you're going up?" I'd say like Yorkshire way.
Oh, proper north, like man.
Yeah, because we're in the middle, so
thus Midlands.
It's like we know that we're going to the north or we're coming to the south. Do you know what I mean?
You're right. You're slap bang. You're right in the middle of the compass.
Whereas you just get to Birmingham and we have about 20 accents, and you're like, I'm give up with the country.
I know
Because we've got about 20 different accents around here. What we say about Alex?
what does she do?
She's a nurse. So she is a chemotherapy nurse.
Okay, in hospital in Birmingham.
Yeah. So Solly Hospital. She she delivers chemo to cancer patients, and looks after them, palliative and non-palliative.
And what were you doing before COVID?
I was a full-time cheer coach and fitness PT.
And then now you're warehousing, as I do roofing.
Now I'm DPing, DPDing. DPing. I'm not DPing. I'm DPDing. I was PT was like a hobby. I was enjoying it because I was only having a few clients that I wanted, did it when I wanted, and just looked after the people that I wanted to look after. And cheer, since I came from America, had just taken off, and I was teaching. So I'm an educator. So I'm qualified level 1 and 6, and I could teach. I could give you your qualifications to be a cheer coach. So I was doing that near enough every weekend. And then if I wasn't doing that, I was flying to different parts of the country to teach other teams or get them ready for their competition. Or I was working with my program in the Midlands, where I'm a coach for a big program in Coventry. So yeah, cheer. I'd done what I planned to do, and cheer was my life, and I was living life. It was perfect. And then COVID just said, I'll take that from underneath you, mate. Woof.
I suppose it's a very physical sport. It's hands-on. It's touching people.
We've gone back, but it's just fitness instructing now, because we still can't go contact. We still can't do anything.
It's rugby at the moment. You have to just touch someone.
We can't even get that close. We still have to keep our 2 meters in the gym.
Mad, isn't it?
And then that all went tits up, and we'd already got the plan of buying a house, so I had to get a job. So yeah, I was like, whatever DPD will do, and ended up working nights at DPD and stacking boxes. But I just class it as fitness, like 8 hours of cardio.
It's cardio.
Yeah, I'll show you have a t-shirt and a snapback, but the snapbacks have literally, I bought them all in and they sold out.
How many? Just out of curiosity, how many would you say sold out? How many did you buy in? What's the following?
I bought 10 snapbacks in. They went out.
Okay, sweet.
When I did the relaunch, we've sold about 25 products in the last couple of weeks.
Just timing in it. When people got a bit of money, people are going out again.
Yeah, and people don't trust the brand, so people don't buy because they don't trust it. So I guarantee you, it's probably close family and friends circles. There's like 1 or 2 that go out to Manchester or London. It's not massive, but just gonna keep it up for a year and see what happens. Really. Thanks for coming on.
I'll speak to you in the week.
Yeah, catch you later, dude.
Thanks, dude. Have a good evening.
Later, Dan. Bye-bye.
That was a different one, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for keeping watching, liking, and sharing the Coffee with Sam podcast. I hope with the changes that are coming to my YouTube and to my podcast, I do not lose any of you as viewers. And I'm sorry that we are trying to hit a different type of audience. There is no harm meant by any of my content or any of my podcast guests, but times are changing. Thank you for people who are sticking around. Keep sharing, keep the love coming, because I love you guys, I love the views, and I love people listening to me in their ears. So till next time, this has been the Coffee with Sam podcast, episode 21, with a Friday night special.
Puzzle pieces.